folks. This morning, soap of the day is Canberry, Pomegranate, Jeeves of Hudson Street. I usually get his, I only have one that's in a container. Usually get his pucks, just so I can put it in my mugs. Got it whipped up here with an Omega brush. Here, let's see if we can get the front of it wiped off here and get the lather. Synthetic knot. I guess you might call this, I guess it's considered first generation. I'm not too sure about that. I don't even know. I would I would agree with it actually first generation, considering that back in the day they had nylon. But I've already had a hot towel to the face. Bloom water. Going to go ahead and get lathered up here. Today is the shaver is going to be a Feather Artist Club with a Feather Super blade on its third use. That Feather Artist Club SS is going to be the Kamasori style. If you haven't used his soap before, Byron soap, it has a nice creamy feel to it. Real creamy. I don't have a problem with these brushes that have those that white synthetic knot. As you can tell, seems to lather up just fine for me. I've had this over here warming up in my warm mug of water. We'll get started with the first pass. I do consider this probably my nose always itches. It seems like when I get something on my hands. I don't know why. I would consider this shaver here probably my favorite for a number of different reasons. For me, it's real easy to maneuver and use around my face, and it seemed, at least for me, I had no problem finding the angle with this. It just seemed like it just came naturally. At least that's my experience, you know. Like they say, your mileage might vary. Just for me, it just seemed to come natural when I finally got one of these. I had been looking at it from the very beginning, from when I first started looking into wet shaving and whatnot. At the time, the price on these were still kind of up there. They weren't, not that they're exactly cheap now, but they were a whole lot more expensive back when I first started looking at them. If I remember correctly, I think when I was looking at them, they were running right around, I think, the $120 mark. Give or take a few $10. Now you can find them right around $60. That's new. Price has come down somewhat if you look for them. You may have to hunt a little bit, but they're out there. Um, I started out using the super, and when I first started, uh, kind of felt like the blade was a little edgy, but then over time, I guess you might say I got used to them. And for me, I have some professionals, but I don't think the professionals feel quite as nice as the super does, at least for me. I noticed a while back they came out with a, I say they came out, maybe they had it and it's just, I just now noticed it. You know how it is. Things change. They came out with a blade that is, the container is pink, and I think it was, my impression it was made for the ladies. And I have not tried those just yet. In other words, venture on down the road of the number of different kinds of blades that Feather has to offer for these. Like I say, I've tried the professional is fine, it's just that it doesn't seem to give me that smooth shave for a number of shaves like the super does. When I first started using this Kamasori, I had been, not only had not been wet shaving very long, but I hadn't been using a shavette for very long. It took me quite a while not to be a nervous wreck when I started shaving with the shavette, because I would seem like always consistently end up cutting myself. I'm not talking about a nick, I'm talking about a cut. And there for a while, there's like, I had 3 right in a row, right up here. Every time when I try to do a across the grain pass, it seemed like I'd always end up with a cut right there. I can think of at least 3 times that happened to me. And it's always, of course, at the end of the shave. So in other words, I've already did with the grain, I had already done against the grain, and so now I'm going to do across the grain, and there I go, catch myself. Don't have quite that problem anymore, but boy, in the beginning, for whatever reason, that sure was that was a tough pass to get started against the grain. Shave that demands your attention, your full attention. So in other words, shaving with one of these and videotaping and talking at the same time, you know, it takes a little while. It looks easy until you get to trying it. What it is I have, there's not very many hairs up there, whiskers, but I do have a few that kind of stray way the heck over here. And that's the reason why I sometimes will do a pass up there. It's because I have some hair that grows way up there, like that. I will have to say that once I really started with shaving with this one, learned a lot of stuff real quick. Don't know why. I don't know if it just happened to be that's when everything started to come together for me. The handle, it does come in different colors. They do have one that the color they refer to as wine. Looks pinkish to me. And it could be, maybe it's not quite that pink, but it looks pink to me. And the other one would be like a lime green color, a bright green color, yellow green maybe. Got those few, like I say, just right up there. But anyway, boy, I tell you what, this is one fine shaver in my opinion. It's one of the easiest ones for me to use. They've got a number of blades. I don't remember how many different ones. I'm wanting to say there's about 5, maybe 6 different blades that you could choose from. If I remember correctly, Tri-Blade will allow you to get an assortment of Artist Club blades. So if you're interested in venturing off to figure out which one of them works for you. I'm kind of one of those guys that sometimes it's kind of hard to switch up anything once I found something that's working for me. Now I have a tendency not to try much of anything else. It's working, why mess with it? Let's see what the alum block has to say. I don't think I'm going to need a cross the grain pass. It's feeling pretty close. When I'm shaving with a shavette, you know, I usually shave with it, you know, 5 days out of the week. And every once in a while I'll do a cross the grain pass on it with a shavette if I'm feeling it, but right now everything still seems to be pretty smooth up there. Smooth enough where I shouldn't have to do a cross the grain pass. And if you're not quite comfortable with doing a cross the grain pass with a shavette, end up with me, keep on getting cuts up here. Grab your favorite shaver and do your cross the grain, or your pickups if you will. Got to have that rubber band. I don't know how guys hang on to this thing without the rubber band. I guess you might say I started with the rubber band, and I like it. And I do dry this off on a dry towel. My towel that I have down here in front of me, off to one side, is where I dry this off at, and I put it right back in the container and close it right up. So far I haven't had any problems out of my alum block. Got a little bit of stinging right there. Every once in a while, it's something I'm doing, and my technique right over here, evidently I must be doing something to cause a little bit of irritation right there. May not be visible on camera or anything else. I can't see anything going on, but the alum block is telling me that there's something going on right there. My witch hazel of the day, Humphreys. So you can kind of imagine if you're shaving with a shavette. Oh, and by the way, when I first started, I should say, when I first started with a DE, I was doing single pass shaves. And, you know, yeah, by the end of the day I was pretty, you know, you can see that I needed my whiskers were very well visible, but depending on where you're at and where you work and whatnot, it had been 15-20 years before my face had seen a blade in quite a while, in other words, so it took a moment for my face to get used to having a blade next to it. It's calming down now. I don't feel it stinging anymore. I'm going to use the aftershave. This is Yulay Citrus Blast. I shake this one up. Most of hers you do shake up anyway. And this one here, it has witch hazel in it also. I think all of hers does. So kind of double dipping with the witch hazel. I like Jeeves. I've got a little slow in the beginning. In other words, his early scents, bowling green. I think there's 1 or 2 other pucks that I missed. Mountain Rain, I think, was another one. In other words, I didn't get all of the pucks, but I have a few of them. I think I got 5. Smells great. Not only that, I don't know that if you can get this one anymore, but if he brings it back, you ought to get some. Smells great. I really like the scent on this. Fruit scent, I really like. I have one, yes, it's from Sterling. I got Sterling's black cherry, then I've got the Van Yulay black cherry aftershave. Love that scent. That is just an awesome scent. It reminds me of Kool-Aid when you first open the package and that scent from the package just rolls out of there. Just a great scent. My nose can even pick that up. Anyway, I had a great shave today. Hope everybody stays safe today. It's getting warm out there. Smooth shaves to you until next time.